This is our triage room. It's triage 2 in our emergency department. Outside these doors you'll see is where patients would enter and their families that would drive to the emergency room. And in this room we actually do the initial assessment, find out more about what their complaint is, what their needs are. The nurses are able to register right here with the computer technology being available to them. There's 2 triage rooms in this area. They're both actually made to be ready to be used if we had to in an overflow situation. So they're fully loaded with everything that we need with the technology to have our tracking for the nurses are on here. It's through a system we call our Hill-Rom system. So the beginning of how do we track people and how do we track and communicate what's going on with their patients are happening in this room. In here also you'll see it's set up with the oxygen, suction equipment, and things of that sort if we did have to keep a lesser emergent patient in here because of a full ED situation. To our trauma room in the emergency department. It definitely is our largest room. It's set up almost similar to an operating room style with the lighting. It's got LED lighting that's a soft lighting, but it really gives you great acuity of the sites that you would be working on. And the lighting actually, it's easy to move around now. It's not like pulling steel that you're fighting against. Very easy and smooth. All our rooms, when you get into any of the critical care areas, and ED is considered critical care, you start seeing these monitors that are going to match throughout the hospital. And that actually is a very important big thing because you don't find that in hospitals that continue to add equipment in. So all this monitoring, the nurses are able to take these things off their little portable transport modules and take it up to the next unit, whether that unit's on the med-surg telemetry unit or the ICU, and just switch it out so it keeps all the patient information right there with them. This is something a little different, and when you first see it, you can't appreciate it without seeing there are magnifiers that can go on here that if somebody's trying to do an incision, a cut on a patient, you can actually, in the operating room as well as in here, get magnification. And it actually helps the eye's acuity. You don't realize what a difference it is, but when I first saw the equipment demonstrated, it was quite amazing to see how sharp it can make things. I feel like I want to walk around the world with green lighting now since I've seen this, and maybe I don't have to wear
lights on a boat at night.
Yeah, it's really fascinating. So we're real happy to have this too. So it's not just something to be different, but it does make a difference, especially for the surgeons to be able to see better and get a clear cut and things of that sort. So. Welcome over to our radiology area. This is our CAT scan directly outside the emergency room. We were able to get a CAT scan at an advanced technology level of what we call 128 slice. It's kind of the newest thing out there, providing the most distinct images that you can get. We actually, when we built the hospital, had thought this would be so much mostly just an inpatient service, but we have found recently that we're getting a lot of outpatient scheduling because it does provide such great images. We've got a team here with our CAT scan and imaging department that's able to work throughout the hospital to help make sure time's quick. And again, as you see the flow of this hospital, the access to ED from here is very simple, a few steps away, and in a little bit you'll see we go up an elevator that takes us immediately right into our second floor area of all our inpatient med-surg and ICU areas. So a patient often needing a CAT scan that's inpatient is a little bit more unstable, and we're glad to have that accessibility so quick and easy.
This is our video laparoscope system and the camera system. It's an HD quality 1080p image. So if you can, let me turn on the lights. So if you can maybe zoom in on one of the monitors, you can see the inside of my hand and you can see the quality of that image. So the surgeon, what he can see, he's actually able to operate on. And that is the best quality image out today. There is none better. And we have it here at Riverside. We'll have it across the system. We have it at Pavilion. We have it here. And that's right. We do have it at the Shore now. Right. We have the video system. We're going to have the integration package as part of our upgrade. So this is actually a laparoscope. It goes in the abdomen for laparoscopic surgery. All right, we have the latest, greatest surgical lights. They're LED lights from Skytron, and they're cool to the touch. If you will, back in the day, and a lot of ORs have it today, halogen lights. Halogen is a regular little bulb, and the bulb itself is very hot, produces a lot of heat. It's right over the surgeon when he's working, and they start to sweat. It's inevitable. Now these LED, they're cool to the touch, and they actually last, these little pods last 10 years before they have to be changed out. So the technology piece is great. The other piece inside the light is we have a camera. The camera, it can be right over the surgeon. I have it down here on one of my business cards, and I put it up on that one particular monitor. Again, the flexibility of this system is phenomenal. We can have a different image on each one of these monitors. The microscope, the camera from the light, the video, we can bring it up an electronic medical record. So we can keep going along with that.
Okay, welcome to our intensive care unit. This is one of our rooms that, again, want to emphasize how much we have the availability of a lot of natural lighting. We do also provide for those times when we do want to make the room very private or completely dark. We have a 2-shade system on the windows. One shade would just give you kind of a reduced light and provides privacy, but does allow some light to seep through. The second shade is a blackout shade and would make this room perfectly dark. So if it was needed, or definitely at night, we would do that and close those shades. One thing as we look again at technology, in all our med-surg rooms on the second floor in the ICU, we have a system here, and this is what I've mentioned before, that we call our Hill-Rom system. It's used as a communication tool as well. So if I was in here and I was active with my badge that's a tracker, it would actually tell where I'm moving about through the unit or through the hospital. And that way a nurse might be in here and needs immediate help and is looking for somebody in particular, they're able to track through this system. We can also call to one another on here, and we carry what we call ASCOM phones, but it's a type of portable phone that we can communicate and bring people in. It also calls for emergency support and backup as we need it.